Hey guys, Mark Jackson here, coming at you with some shit you wouldn't believe. You know, I don't mean to darken your day, but I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, Nike is actually doing this. I'm going to link the article in the description below. Can you believe this crap? I saw it. I couldn't believe it. That's not the magnum opus of this video, which I want to keep very brief, and I don't want to waste your time with you listening to me. So I'm just going to play this video that I found online, and look at this bitch's face. Look at her smile and look at her eyes. Check it out. Listen to what she has to say, too, by all means. Listen to what she has to say. I'm not going to tell you what to think. I'm not trying to control your mind. But hey, enjoy, I guess, would be the best and worst word. So here we go.
Is the Executive Vice President of Planned Parenthood, and she joins us tonight. Dawn, thanks for coming on.
Hey, good evening, Tucker.
So I've talked to a lot of Planned Parenthood people and defenders, and they always say it's not just about abortion. We do all these virtuous things, healthcare-related services for women, and defunding us would be a terrible problem. The Republicans say, look, that's fine. Just don't include abortion in your services. And Planned Parenthood comes back and says, no, abortion is too important to exclude. I wonder what the reasoning is there. Why is abortion so important to Planned Parenthood that you're willing to forego $500 million a year in federal subsidies?
Well, I'd like to say first and foremost that Planned Parenthood believes in the wisdom and power of the individual to decide what care is right for them and what doctor they should go to. And no one's going to bully, threaten, or bribe Planned Parenthood to not have that view. But 1.5 million people are at risk of losing access to cancer screenings, STD testing and treatment, and birth control because of this plan by Paul Ryan and Donald Trump to take that care away. And of course, people don't, they come to Planned Parenthood and we get reimbursed for providing preventive health care. We don't get a budget item, line item, and we don't get a big check. We get reimbursed like any hospital for providing a Pap test or a breast cancer screening.
But that doesn't change the question, which is why include abortion if the services provided are necessary? Why not just take that out? It is a controversial thing. A lot of people think it's murder. Why not just take that out and then taxpayers can feel good about subsidizing the rest of your services?
Well, again, taxpayers don't pay for abortion services. They help reimburse things like Pap tests and cancer screenings. But women deserve access to the full range of reproductive health care, and that includes safe, legal abortion. And so Planned Parenthood is going to let women make the choices they want to make about their care and go to the doctor they want to go to.
Then I've always wondered this, and maybe you can clear it up. So the most common cancer among women in the United States is breast cancer, and the majority of breast cancers are discovered in mammograms, which, while controversial, I think are still widely agreed upon the best screening. I don't think Planned Parenthood offers any mammograms, does it?
Well, they don't actually. Most cancers aren't initially discovered in mammograms. They're discovered in breast cancer screenings done by gynecologists all over this country, including those at Planned Parenthood.
Well,
and like any gynecologist, what we do is we refer to people for a mammogram at a radiologist's office, which is what every woman in America can tell you is what happens. They go to their gynecologist, they get a breast exam, something is found, and then they get referred to go get a mammogram. Right. And if something is found there, they go to get a biopsy. So that's how it works.
So Planned Parenthood does provide an awful lot of abortions every year. I think over 300,000. I think that's right, in that range. And the majority of them are after 5.5 weeks. That's the point at which the fetal heartbeat can be detected. I'm just wondering, as someone who works there, what do you think of that? What is being aborted? If you can hear the heartbeat, what is that thing that's being aborted? How do you feel about that?
Well, abortion is a right in this country. Women have their own views on whether or not they want to be pregnant. That is not a viable fetus at 5.5 weeks. Anyone knows that. And what you would do is make your own choice. And that's all Planned Parenthood has ever said, is that every woman should make their own choice.
Right, but since you work at the country's biggest... No, right, but I mean, what specifically do you think? You work at the country's biggest abortion provider. If you can hear the heartbeat of this thing, this fetus, what is it? Is it just a piece of tissue, or is it a separate human being?
I think that's up to each individual to decide what they believe, but women in this country, 1 in 3 women have an abortion during their lifetime. Obviously, they are making their own choice. And what we're here to talk about today, what I'm here to talk about today is that the Pence-Ryan plan will take away health and cancer screenings and birth control for millions of women in this country.
Hold on, I'm sorry, I don't want to let you filibuster. You've said that, and I think health screenings are important. I think Planned Parenthood probably does some good work. But the reason it's a controversial place is because it's the country's biggest abortion provider, and you're one of the people who run it. And so I just want to know what you think. If you can hear the fetal heartbeat and then it's extinguished, what do you think of that? Is that a big deal or not to you? And if not, why not?
Well, I take seriously all of the health care work that we provide at Planned Parenthood. I believe in safe, legal abortion. I believe it's up to each woman and individual.
I know, but what do you think?
So I'm not going to make a judgment.
No, but why can't you give me a straight answer? This is at the core of what you do. You're the biggest abortion provider in the United States. It's not like you haven't thought of this. What do you think of that?
I would say that it's a fetus,
and
so.
But what is a fetus?
I would say that it is up to each woman to decide whether. You and I can differ on this all day, Tucker.
We're not even differing because you're not telling me what you think. We're not differing at all. You're refusing to say what you think. Is it a separate being, or is it a piece of flesh?
What I'm going to say is that 70% of Americans believe that Roe v. Wade should be the law of the land. They believe that women should each individually be able to have their choices about what they want to do in their pregnancy. And they definitely believe that women are at risk for losing care under the plan that Donald Trump and
I get your talking points.
I've
let you repeat them a lot. Hold on. With respect, I've let you repeat your talking points, which I've heard 1,000 times, many times. But I want to take it just a level deeper because I think it's worth it. It's a big deal to a lot of people. And people say, look, this is killing a life. A heart is beating. You can hear it at 5.5 weeks. And the majority of your abortions take place after 5.5 weeks. So I want to know if that bothers you at all. Does it at all? Do you ever stop and think, wow, what is happening here? Is a life being taken? People say a life is being taken. Do you think that?
I personally favor safe legal abortion in this country decided on by each individual woman and her doctor to decide for themselves. I personally do not believe that that is a viable fetus at that point. And there are rules there are rules we follow.
Why are you
Roe
giving me
v.
robotic
Wade laid
responses?
out.
I'm asking you a human question, and I hope you'll favor me with the human answer. I'm not saying it's viable. At 5.5 weeks, it's not, but you can hear the heartbeat. Is that a human being or not? Is it separate from the mother or not? A different blood type, often a different sex, different DNA? It doesn't seem like a tumor or something that is connected to the woman wholly. It's distinct. What does that mean? I would think you would have thought about it, considering you provide more of them than anyone. Is that
I
a
have
crazy
thought
question?
about it very much for myself, but I am not going to project onto other women what I believe. What I believe is that women have the right and the choice, and we're going to leave it up to them. And at Planned Parenthood, people
you're not helping them make that choice with your stilted answer.
We do.
At all. No,
we
but
do
you're not
help them make a choice.
If you think it's a profound choice,
I don't help them personally make the choice. They get to make it, whether it's with their minister or their doctor or their partner or husband.
With respect, I know you're smart, but you're giving me a series of rehearsed and very childish answers, and it's disappointing. I would think that you would have grappled with this a little bit. Have you? Do you ever grapple with it? Do you think, wow, this is a profound thing? All these protesters outside holding up signs. Do you ever pause and say, what are they doing? It's not just about disempowering women. There's another agenda here. That's a real agenda. Do you ever think of that?
I often do look at those protesters and I wonder how they can be so heartless to be yelling the things that they do at women in their lives when they know nothing about what's going on in that woman's life. They don't have any idea what service she might be there for, but that doesn't stop them. So I'm often concerned about the shame and stigma that people try to force onto women in this country.
But why would they want to do that? Have you
I
ever thought about that, have you?
I appreciate it. I do.
All right.
So
that was a uniquely shallow conversation, Dawn. But thanks for joining us anyway.
Thank you. Anytime.